Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 50 of Photo Critiques. And in Photo Critiques, people send me in some of their best images, and I critique each shot with suggestions on how they can improve it. And I mentioned in the previous two critiques that episodes 48, 49, and 50 are going to be relatively short because the photographers just sent me in a few images. I was going to lump them all together into one critique, but I didn't think that would be fair to them. So I gave them all their own separate episode. And today, I'm pleased to critique the work of Patrick Mccullagh. And Patrick sent me in actually 4 images, but one of them was a nude, and I'm not sure what YouTube's policy is on nudes, and I do know we have some kids that watch these critiques, so I left that one out. I hope Patrick isn't offended, but I just left that one out because, and I didn't feel like looking up YouTube's policy, so it was easier to leave it out. So I hope he understands. He sent me in some really nice work though. This first one is probably my favorite shot of the bunch. Just we have underneath the pier the shot of the liner, the boat, and it's very well done. Natural framing from these posts, the pier. Very well done. Super clear, super great clarity. We have this contrast of luminosity. We have this darkness that's in the front part, and as we it helps lead our eye through to the back part, which is brighter, where the subject is. And it's super great exposure. The lights are exposed perfectly, yet the underneath side of the pier where it's very dark is exposed very nice. I don't have metadata, but he used obviously a very long shutter speed, or relatively long shutter speed, because you could see how the blur on the water adds a nice effect too. So this is an excellent shot. This is a great shot too. Really not much to critique you'll find on Patrick's work. He's very good photographer, probably a pro. I don't know, he didn't mention it, but some pros have sent me in some of their images, and very nicely done. Controlled any lens flare very well. A lot of times you get some lens flare blurting out, you know, to the side, just a tiny bit there, but I mean it can't be avoided. One couple notes I'll make is there's a lot of darkness in the shot, which is fine. That's the effect I'm sure he was going for. On a print, if you're going to print this, it doesn't print as well. It's hard for the printers usually to get the detail that we're looking at down here when it's dark. So that is something to consider if you're considering doing prints. The other thing is just a tip for everyone in general, because I got asked this in an email. If you get lens flare, and it's, typically you get that more if you're not shooting straight at the sun as much, maybe a little more, the sun's at an angle to your lens, your front lens element, you'll get this like blotchy line coming through. Usually I get, a lot of people like that effect, but I don't in my images, and how I deal with it is I take 2 shots. I take one shot as normal, and it'll have that lens flare coming across the frame. Then I take a second shot, and I literally put my finger in front of the lens and blot out the sun with my finger, and I take a shot. So now I have 2 shots. I have one shot of the entire scene with lens flare, and I have one shot which has my big ugly finger sticking in it right here, but there's no lens flare. Then I open them up both as layers in Photoshop with my finger as the top layer, and I simply use a layer mask, and I mask out my finger and will take the pictures below it, the sun part of the picture below it, into the frame. So obviously you need a tripod to do that, I should add, but that's what I get. That's how I get rid of the sun flare. So the resultant picture is actually 2 shots in one. It's one shot of my finger, and it has no lens flare, and then it's another shot that is just the sun, so that's going over the top of my finger. And that's how I deal with it. And so if you guys don't like lens flare in your shot and you're getting it, consider doing that, but remember you need a tripod, of course. This is the last shot. Nice panorama again though. The very dark areas here. You could open them up. I don't think I'll be able to do it much here because this is a processed panorama. But if you open them up a little bit, it tends to make it print better. And that's, it's someone's own personal taste. But if you are going to be printing these things, remember that if it's real dark, it doesn't come out as impressive. It just looks like black on the printed paper. So that's it for Patrick Mccullagh. Thank you very much, Patrick. And Patrick, I apologize I had to omit one of your images. I will say though that was a beautiful image. The lighting was excellent on it. Very well done. I'm losing my voice, so it's a good time I'm ending it now. Thank you very much for everyone for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. If you have time and you haven't already, go over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and go over to my website and see what I have over there. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.